The MrBeast situation continues as he's still getting talked about for all of the things that were said about his Beast games recently, the conditions that the contestants were in, and much more. And people certainly had some things to say after his team spoke with the New York Times this past week. But there's also another situation with MrBeast, as a former employee had recently exposed him in a video on YouTube that is almost 10 million views at the time that I'm making this. Apparently this person has been hit with a cease and desist from MrBeast's team following making that video, and it's turned into a whole thing that people want answers for. Now, I don't know if MrBeast is actually going to be coming out and addressing any of this. I feel like he's probably been legally advised to not talk about anything that is being said about him right now, but we are going to talk about everything that has come out since my last video. MrBeast is being held accountable by most major news outlets now. This past week, the New York Times wrote an article about everything that's been going on surrounding his Beast Games show set to be on Amazon Prime. And following that article, several others have been written from The Hollywood Reporter, New York Post, The Independent, ABC News, Deadline, and many more. MrBeast himself hasn't spoken out about anything as of right now, but his team did give a statement to the New York Times. They published last Friday, in a text message, a spokesperson for MrBeast said the shoot was unfortunately complicated by the CrowdStrike incident, extreme weather, and other unexpected logistical and communications issues. The spokesperson said MrBeast had started a formal review and had taken steps to ensure that we learn from this experience. The CrowdStrike incident occurred on July 19th. It was an IT outage that affected airports, businesses, and broadcasters. Basically, CrowdStrike rolled out an update to its customers, and the update resulted in a Windows system crash affecting organizations worldwide in multiple industries. There were tons of people saying that their flights were canceled, delayed, they were stuck at the airport. There was a lot going on. And MrBeast's team is claiming that this affected them as well, resulting in issues with their shoot in Vegas. Now, the things that have come out about Beast Games have been unacceptable to people, and they've really just urged Jimmy to come out and address the situation himself, though it seems he's probably been advised to not address it and instead let his team address it. But the claims that have come out about what happened on the set of the first episode of his game show has only continued to get worse. To clarify for anyone who hasn't seen the other videos covering this MrBeast situation, he struck a deal with Amazon for the biggest competition series in TV history. They were to feature 1,000 contestants, all competing for a $5 million cash payout. MrBeast had previously said that an episode in connection to the show would air on his YouTube channel as a way to promote people going to watch the rest on Amazon Prime. So in Vegas last month, they had 2,000 people competing to be the 1,000 that would get to actually be on the Amazon Prime portion of the show, and that's where all the troubles have come. The New York Times spoke to contestants and wrote about how contestants knew they were signing up for something crazy but just weren't expecting what actually did occur. Writing, during an intake process this year, several contestants told the New York Times that they had been asked whether they would be willing to be buried alive or travel to outer space. One contestant recalled being asked if she would be able to swim to shore if thrown overboard from a boat. I understand that such activities may cause me death, illness, or serious bodily injury, including but not limited to exhaustion, dehydration, overexertion, burns, and heat strokes, read a line in a contract reviewed by the Times that applicants were required to sign. Such language is commonplace in reality television contracts. What they did not expect, however, were the more mundane yet potentially dangerous inconveniences that they had said had befallen on them during the competition. The things that people have been coming out to share from their experience have emphasized going long stretches without being fed and having tiny portions of food when they were, and that they were not warned about this prior to signing up. Several contestants said they had sought out production staff members for assistance with medical care, food and hygiene issues, and the staff members were often not helpful and appeared disorganized. Some staff members yelled and cursed at contestants, one participant said. It was also noted that several contestants also didn't receive their medications on time, as the Times wrote, despite reassurance that contestants' medication would be distributed to them when needed. Several contestants said they had not received their medication on time, including one contestant who needed insulin, instead receiving it hours or even days after their scheduled dosing times. One contestant said she had initially been denied food she required to take her medication and had been told by staff that she didn't actually need to eat. After asking repeatedly, she was given half a banana. Rosanna Pansino has also continued to share more stories from contestants who have gotten in contact with her to spread awareness of what has happened while filming, and it honestly just keeps sounding like more and more of a nightmare.
Alright, so I have been receiving more updates about the injuries on the set of Beast games confirmed by multiple people that I am going to be telling you about today. I'd like to read you 2 statements from Beast game contestants who witnessed the same and, in my opinion, a horrifying event. Here's the first statement. The lack of water, food, and medical attention was embarrassing and sad. Women and elders injured. I witnessed 2 seizures, a sprained ankle. Staff and medical did nothing to help her, leaving her for hours crying. Teammates were helping console and aimed to get the staff to assist. PAs ignored us. I witnessed a rope literally wrapped around a young woman's neck, choking her out on the red team. Multiple people being trampled on their heads and chests. I blame the production and Mr. Beast for standing in front of us, encouraging the mosh pits and people fighting over jerseys. Many of us nervous for our safety. It was difficult to breathe or even stand up straight. The ones eliminated were discarded without food, water, hotel, or flight home. Without a safe space to decompress, we just sat around the casino at slot machines, delirious and starving. In some cases, for over 24 hours without anything. Spouses and family members were furious. I know one account of someone driving across states to come pick up their loved one. The production's travel department was non-responsive. No one would answer calls or emails. The hotel would not let us rebook unless there was a flight arranged.
She also noted that people she spoke to about this recently didn't lose the game, but chose to leave on their own due to everything that has happened.
For anyone listening, that these 6 people who left were not people who lost the challenge. These are people who won. They were able to stick around. These are people who turned down $5 million or a chance at $5 million because they didn't want anything to do with this production and how people were being treated.
She also addressed comments that she had been seeing from people talking about, oh, these people signed up for a game show. What did they expect?
To end this video, I want to directly address the people who are saying, well, they're competing for $5 million and of course it's going to be dangerous. That is simply not true. Productions have been giving away millions of dollars on reality TV shows for decades while still managing to keep their contestants safe. I'm genuinely worried that if changes don't happen on the set of Beast Games, something more tragic will happen. I'll talk to you guys soon.
Now, this isn't the first time Mr. Beast's actions have come into question in terms of safety on set. The New York Times referenced an article from Time where former employees had actually spoken out about safety concerns on Mr. Beast's sets in the past. Back in February, Time wrote, but several producers mentioned pushback around hiring experts for stunts. They'd always ask us, well, why? Says Troy Guthrie, who believes he was let go from Mr. Beast because he kept agitating for safety. Guthrie worked on a global athletics contest video where a few contestants were injured and he was distressed at the construction of the sets. After the shoot, as the friends of friends were cleaning up, he says one of the huge doors contestants had to run between blew over. A Mr. Beast spokesperson says the company has never let anyone go for asking about safety on set. On-set medics promptly addressed any injuries that arose during filming, and a safety cord kept the door secured when it came out of its track. Another former employee had also spoken to Time, and they wrote, Scott Brown, a creative producer who worked for Mr. Beast from March 2023 to August 2023, says that in order to move fast at Mr. Beast, they view safety as like being overly cautious or a weakness. He helped produce the Train vs. Giant Pit video and believed the safety procedures were insufficient. When he suggested using OSHA's protocols for the pit's considerable drop, I was told we don't need to worry about that, he says. Other producers say they were asked to work with explosives, fast cars, and heavy machinery with very little training and on very little notice. Let's just say as an 18-year-old, says Jay Neo, who moved to Greenville from the UK to help on the creative team, it felt weird to be writing on the board days without an accident that needed to be updated every day. They had reached out to Mr. Beast's team for comment and wrote, a spokesperson for Mr. Beast did not respond to an inquiry about the board, but said safety is incredibly important and taken very seriously, and medics and experienced professionals tailored to the needs of production are on every set. The company is OSHA compliant, he added. Now, this isn't the only situation currently being discussed when it comes to Mr. Beast, as a former employee made a video last month posted to the YouTube channel Dogpack404. The video has over 10 million views now, and in it, this former employee is accusing Mr. Beast of engaging in fake giveaways, producing content that is not authentic, and alleging that Mr. Beast's company ran illegal lotteries, rigged videos, and sold fake signatures. He had also come out to accuse Mr. Beast of sending him multiple cease and desists now, saying that he is in violation of his non-disclosure agreement that he signed while he was employed at the company. And he's now also claiming that MrBeast employees have gotten his phone number to text him and warn him about what might be coming if he continues to talk about MrBeast, and that he should take content down discussing him. So clearly there's just a lot being said about MrBeast right now, a lot that just isn't making him look like the charitable nice guy who wants to help people. It'll be really interesting to see if changes are made prior to filming the rest of the show, but until then, that is what has been said as of right now and what news outlets have said and or heard from MrBeast and his team. Let me know what you guys think about all of this. I love you guys so much, and I will talk to you in the next video. Bye, guys.